Good day, it's September 17th and it's about the time where I want to reorganize where all of the perennials are going to be for next year, just based on how they grew this season and if they need more sun or more shade, or if I just want to split them to add more in different parts of the garden. Then that's what I'm doing today. I also bought a bunch of stuff on clearance, so I'll be planting that, and I've changed the concept of how I border or the edge of my beds that are curved. I used to have a lot of creeping phlox and some ground covers. I'm going to be moving the ground covers out, and instead I want to have kind of like a foot high off of as the first layer, and then move up from there. And I'll just be moving the ground cover somewhere else. So this video will be time-lapsing me changing around everything and splitting things. I am going to stop at one point to explain how to split something by digging it up, like how to split it in multiple sections. And then after the time lapse is done, then I'm going to go through all of the changes with you. Stand by. I stopped the time lapse because I thought I would do a really quick tutorial on how to divide up perennials that you love and want more of. And this one had a really good root ball. And then weirdly, I found styrofoam in the base. I don't know if that came from, it wouldn't have come from the pot, from the nursery. So I must have had styrofoam in my soil, like deep in the soil, with the foot down. Anyways. So you just shake off the soil so you can see all of the root as much as you can without hurting anything. And then you take one of these that has kind of, or like a knife basically, but this has a bit of a knife's edge here on this trowel. I don't know what it's called. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look carefully at an area that looks kind of like a clump. So look at this is like there, that side. So it's almost like they all shoot out from the same V area, and then like you could take that clump. So you would slice through that area. I think I might be too high. Slice through that area. So I'm gonna try to make this into 3 or 4, yeah, because it grew really well, and I really loved the shape of it and how fast it grew. So I'm gonna do the best I can here. Okay, there. So I got a piece. It still has roots attached to its little core, and yeah, you're gonna lose a bunch of stuff because really I'm not supposed to be doing this right now. I should be doing it later in the fall whenever I've trimmed them, but you know, I think I'm just gonna get really busy with school later on, and I'm not gonna want to do this in October, so I'm just gonna do it now, and yeah, lose a bunch of stuff, but luckily it all grows back. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna get 4. I think I'll only get 3. The other thing you can do is take your shovel and just like smash it in without having to take the whole root ball out. You could just like go right, you know, in between a perennial and put your foot in there. But I kind of like doing this to see exactly how much I can get. But this root ball is so massive. Anyways, I'll just do the rest. I want 2 more. one. I don't know about this one. I think I'm just gonna damage it. Yeah. I think it's easier to do this with my heuchera. This one is a lot more stubborn. Like I couldn't see right in here because I'd rather not have cut through like the rhizome or whatever, but I did. So I'll keep you posted on how these turn out. It's my only one in the whole garden, so you'll know if I have 1, 2, 3, 4. If I have 4 next season all survived, then this was a success. I'm all done and I'm just gonna go through some of the changes, but as you can see with the wide shot, what I'm trying to do is, like in the back, I'm trying to border the edge of the flower beds with like a 1 foot high ground cover instead of a creeping ground cover, and having them alternate in different colors and textures, mostly like, you know, the yellows or chartreuse, the reds and purples, and then that kind of blue color, right? That blue-green color. That's the goal, because there's enough green around with the perennial leaves that I'm gonna try to border it up to change it, and also the grass, because the grass is so green, right? So I'm trying to edge it with something that contrasts with the grass. Obviously, I still have a lot of work to do. So from here, I got one piece of the Jack Frost Brunnera and I put it right here. This area is still under construction because I have to remove a blackberry and move around some of the vines to the other side, but I have to wait until they paint the house. Then I took these blue fescue, I think it's called boulder blue, and I kind of divvied them up. So there's 4 here, and then there's some on the other side as well. I took some of these really chartreuse green heucheras and did the same thing, as you can see. So it's like a informal pattern, but it still feels like it's formal. I have to fill in the holes. I just took what I could from the from Richie's on Carp, and I took as much as I could. They're really cheap, but they're running low, right? So I'm gonna hit up another garden center, the more expensive one, Make It Green, and fill in the rest here. Like, I don't know, just something, another heuchera or maybe a different texture can go there. But it's, again, gonna be something that has to tolerate sun, so I can't do too many hostas in this area. It doesn't always work. And I'll just like keep filling in the edge here. And then the second row of flowers will always be like the 2 foot high flowers. And then the back is supposed to be kind of like shrubs and little trees. So other things I did was I split up in like 3 my silver mound artemisia, and I put it here. I really want that silver tone up against this purple smoke bush. I mean, it doesn't look purple right now because it's the end of the season and that's old growth, but it does look purple. And I find that silver artemisia looks good. So I have a taller artemisia there, and this will become a mound hopefully there. Pulmonaria. Oh, I guess I could put a pulmonaria over there, and I could probably even split one of my pulmonarias. I also love this chartreuse of the spiderwort, and I totally can split that. I have to double check on how much sun it can tolerate, and then I'll divide it. I just didn't check. This is the palmernaria I could split. It's pretty big, beautiful, different colored leaves on it. And over here is the original Jack Frost, which now looks horrible, but it'll bounce back. It'll just be lovely. And then here's another piece of the Jack Frost, and I also put in a heuchera here. I took out the Pinky Winky hydrangea that was in this corner. It wasn't getting enough sun here. It gets like no sun here, so I just didn't think it was gonna thrive, so I shoved a good old iris that my irises seem to bloom everywhere. And I really like the foliage on this iris. It's actually kind of a blue tinge, and it's like sturdy and flat, and it gets humongous. I cut them off earlier just because it was blocking some stuff, but I would keep the foliage the whole time, and it's almost as tall as this Rudbeckia. So then, oh yeah, more silver mound here. I guess I can angle. I'm really missing a lot of heuchera, so I decided to put all the red heuchera on the other side, and that's what I'm really missing here, is some red and purple tones on the edge. So hopefully there's some that make it green. I'll show you where I put the Pinky Winky. There it is. So now I have, it's hard to tell against this fence. I hate the color of the fence, but there's a Japanese maple here, kind of like a weeping one. And it's Crimson Queen. It's supposed to be more crimson, but it really just looks brown at the moment. And then on this side, right, they are arborvitae. So it's a yellow ribbon, that's what it's called. So I thought, you know, we need another shrub in the middle so that once they grow up, they are almost touching. And then we'll have that height. And then I put, guess what, this was actually the best Jack Frost split I took. It's still, it didn't lose all of its leaves. So that'll be good there. Nice blue color. Oh, I moved all the boulder blues again here. Blue, blue, blue. That's a star juniper, low growing. Blue there, and then blue there. So I've got the blue down on this side. No more blue needed. I need some yellow and some red, purple. What else did I move? I put a boulder blue here. I don't think I'm gonna keep the creeping phlox in this bed. I don't know. If I keep this border, I will keep the creeping phlox. If I lose the border, because it's hard to cut grass around this border, I can never get to the edge unless I get a whippersnipper, and that's just annoying, so I don't want to buy one. So I might, if I do lose the brick, then that looks too much like grass, and then I'll lose the shape of the bed, so it'll be the problem I had over there. I did move you can't tell what it is, but I mean, unless you know the leaf, but it's this salmon colored echinacea coneflower, and it was over there tucked like far near the rose back there, and you couldn't see it. It was like, I think it's dwarf, or maybe it's just its first year. It wasn't very tall, so I just put it here so I could see it more. And then there's more creeping phlox. I don't know, I love the creeping phlox obviously, but in the spring it's like one of the first things you see besides all the bulbs, you know, if those survive the squirrels. You see phlox, creeping phlox, and it's lovely, but man, it just looks like boring afterwards. So not sure. Anyway, we'll see. I think that's it for now. Oh yeah, look at the color on this. It's changing. It's going yellow, and it's supposed to go orange eventually. This is Tiger Eye Sumac that gets yellow, orange, red in the fall, and I'm hoping it does. I'm laughing because it seems like my leaves don't turn color in the fall, like maybe because it's new plants. For example, my serviceberry tree, just last year it stayed green like this, and then just the leaves just fell. Like it was supposed to get like really nice bright red. No, it just fell. So I'm not sure. I mean, it's loving life. Like it's grown so much in this spot. but there's like no berries. And anyway, but I think this is actually changing color, which I'm so happy about. Not that I hang out in the backyard that much in the fall. I get so busy with school. Okay, that's enough about me. Hope you enjoyed this video and this space that I'm trying to make beautiful, and the leaves that have fallen from the crazy silver maple that is ginormous, and Cocoa Bean. Ta-da! Coco, squirrel! I know, I'm so mean. He needed the exercise. I hope you had a lovely day. I did. It was beautiful today. And tomorrow it's gonna rain, so I think my plants will be really happy with that. Until next time.